Brad, how are you doing today, sir?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, and I'm super excited to be able to talk to you about this because Chucky is back on Sci-Fi and the USA Network on Tuesdays. You are the voice of Chucky. I mean, you've been the man for so long, or the doll, I guess, at this point in time.
Yeah, since the 80s.
And it's been such a long time, and I mean, Chucky at this point is an absolute horror icon. How does it feel to be able to be playing this character for this long?
Well, what's scary is, Don and I look at each other and we don't look the same. We've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, people know you from, literally from like across decades. Like they can pinpoint a decade in which you've done a movie, even back all the way to the 70s, and somebody somewhere knows something that you've done. Obviously with Chucky, the voice is very recognizable, but you've been some of my favorite characters in the past, including Doc on Deadwood. Like, I love all of the stuff that you've done, and even people may recognize you as Wormtongue as well from The Lord of the Rings. Everybody knows something that you've done.
Well, thank you. I hope that's okay.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
So far, no one's run me out of town, so I guess I'm all right.
What's it like coming back to Chucky, donning that voice and going back into that mindset of being a serial murderer / doll?
The great thing about Chucky is he loves his job. So Chucky, is about play. And, that's what actors do. They play a part. So it's fun to go in and play. It's not good for my voice.
Mm-hmm.
I can only do it for so long. But it's fun. What can I tell you? And it's a family event now. My daughter played the lead in the last two movies, and she's in it now. And I can't tell you what she did in this, but she's done some very surprising and wonderful work in this thing. I've seen her stuff.
That's amazing, and I'm excited too to just to see what she has to do in this new series as well, because it's been said that she will be a part of this, and they're really incorporating the whole universe when it comes down to this. It's fun because I loved her as Bart in Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, and
wasn't she great?
She was
amazing. Now we're talking about my daughter, and notice how I perk up. Yeah,
it's cool though because she's going in and kind of integrating herself into the legacy that you've had with Chucky as well, which is I think that's really fun.
Yeah, the first time that she was like 4 or 5, I forget, really a child, and she came to the studio when I was doing, Chucky gets very badly burned,
mm-hmm.
and he runs around on fire, and I was doing that, which is, screaming like it really happens, like it was really happening, so I was like, excruciating pain, and it was loud and it was painful to listen to if I was doing my job right. And she heard it and ran out of the studio, and I had to go find her.
Oh no.
And talk her down. And so she went from that to playing the lead.
That's amazing. That's super fantastic.
In 2 movies.
And that's the one part about it that, like, even the fact that with this horror icon, like a lot of the times, even like when you get into so many sequels with a character like this, you don't know how they're going to be able to reinvent this character, but they've been able to make it an interesting journey.
That is the genius of Don Mancini, right there. You nailed it.
Yeah.
I mean, every time that the genre has changed over the years, and every single time that there was, Scream happened, and
mm-hmm.
that changed it, and then we went back to the whole thing of going back to your roots. That changed it, and he always found a really, really interesting way of doing that, of being a part of the way things change. Hats off to Don Mancini. What can I say?
Absolutely. And Chucky airs on the USA Network and Sci-Fi at 10 p.m. on Tuesdays. You can get the first couple of episodes right now. They're streaming it all the time. And also, they're just available on all the apps immediately following the air. Brad, do you go back and watch your performances as Chucky? I feel it would be kind of weird to see a doll with your own voice on that. So where do you see it?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to watch them until I finish the ADR, until I finish, doing all the episodes, and then I'll watch some because. But normally, first of all, I don't watch horror because it scares the hell out of me.
That's awesome.
But I'll watch these because obviously I read the script and they're not going to surprise me that much, and it'll be really interesting to see, how they did it. And I'll watch my daughter's episodes as well to see how she's doing, so I can call her up and and embarrass her and say how wonderful she is. She hates it when I do that.
Oh.
Yeah,
it's just awesome. I just like when you're in something like this, and especially the fact that I've seen some interviews with you online going to like horror conventions and stuff. It's fun in terms of, it's scary, but also the fans are some of the coolest fans out there, and so happy that someone is out there going to like even interact with them or talk with them or, be a part of what they're doing, because a lot of people, this is their sort of emotional release to get scared. It's like when you would go to a haunted house or something along those lines. You want that adrenaline rush. And I feel Chucky, the series, the movies, all of it have really kind of encompassed that and have made it fun, but also terrifying.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point of horror. We have the instinct to avoid being prey, and that's the scary ride of horror. You're up against a monster you can't negotiate with who's going to kill you, and
it's rough, especially when they really actually love what they're doing, especially with Charles Lee Ray / Chucky.
Yeah, I know, he loves his job. Chucky loves his job.
And it's interesting, just at this point in time, just to see what's going to be happening. He's hitting back his old hometown.
Well, you will learn a lot about Chucky. That's the great thing about a series, is that it has to go deeper into character because it's more of an arc, and so you have to develop the character. So we're going to find out a lot more about Chucky.
I love it. Soon. Brad Dourif, so happy that you could spend a little bit of time with me. Thank you so much. Again, you can check out the show on Sci-Fi, on the USA Network, live on Tuesdays, but you can also get it on their apps and everything else. Brad, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me, man.
My pleasure.